All right, so it's on your radar. You're gonna move to the Florida Keys. You're gonna get that second home, that third home, whatever your incentive or motive is to move to the Florida Keys. We are going to do an entire vlog tour. We're showing all the big major keys, what separates them. We're gonna show you the incredible views that you can find here. So what the whole goal of this video is, it's gonna take us a day or two to really get through. We're gonna show you all of the different keys from north to south, and so you really get a full understanding of which ones fit your lifestyle, but most importantly, which ones don't. We understand coming to the Keys is a lifestyle. So you gotta have the boats, you gotta have the canals, the ocean views, the pools, or you just want your little cottage, your little private oasis. There's going to be some keys that we go into, no name key, just tucked in the middle of nature. You're kind of just kept alone. You're not by anybody. Some of them we'll go down to Key West. You get all of the hustle and bustle. If you want to know exactly what it's like to live right here in the Florida Keys, we're getting after it right now. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkie with the Living in Florida Keys YouTube channel. If this is your first time to this channel, you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play, boat, fish, have an amazing time, make sure you tap that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. We honestly get so many phone calls, emails, text messages, and we absolutely love it from people moving and relocating from all over the place. So if that is your goal, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Florida Keys. All right, so like mentioned, we're gonna be starting up north and really just kind of working our way through. We won't hit every single section, but we're going to hit all the major keys, and we're gonna have a lot of storytelling showing you, and we're gonna just drive through with the camera and show you exactly what you get in these keys. So let's get after it. Okay, so we're at one of the famous beaches right here, and we're also on the Marathon Key. So this is one of the central keys, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about the styles of homes back here, this park, and also what you can get right here. So Lee, first and foremost, we have kind of like your single homes here, and up towards the high school is more of the duplex, but it's cool because you have waterways back here. Why don't you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so as you drive into this area, we have some homes that are transient rentals, so they can do weekly rentals. They're extremely popular. And then behind us, we're looking at a subdivision where we have wide canals. As we drive around a little bit later here, we'll see. You can tell basically the size of the boat that can fit, but by what's in there. And they're big boat. This is big boat water in this area. You've got good draft, and there's a lot of different styles of home back in here, good dockage.
So Lee, we're also seeing a bunch of style coming in from Miami, but also if someone's coming here, wants to kind of do a tear down, is there regulations to what they can build? Because we've seen super moderns, we've seen the stucco style homes. Why don't you just touch on that?
Yeah, we're highly regulated by the way you can build, and it all goes down to the codes for wind. The structures have to be built to a wind code, not so much a design as far as the aesthetics, but more the construction so that it can stand up to hurricanes.
So I remember coming down, to the Keys, and you have no idea what to expect. First of all, you think that they're just these tiny, tiny little islands, but you've got to kind of head, east, west, north, south on these islands, especially or these keys, especially Marathon here, because a lot of the stuff, coming from the outside world, you have no idea it exists. So you're heading down the highway, you branch off, look at these incredible parks. So they are making, especially the Marathon, right? So Marathon here, one of the central keys, central southern, and this is going to be definitely more family friendly, although you're getting everybody and anybody to move in. It's one of the most highly desired areas because you have some of these incredible houses, the canals, which is pretty typical, but you have one of the high schools down here for the Southern Keys. So there's one here in Marathon, one down Florida Keys, but you've got these incredible parks all over. There's skate parks here, there's a hospital here, there's Home Depots here, stores, So you're gonna get really everything you need, and then you pop up and over and you get these incredible beaches. So before we cruise out of here, just wanted to talk, I was talking with Lee just a little bit ago, and they actually have the turtle vet here in Marathon. So it's a really cool program helping turtles, but just out here on the beach, it's turtle breeding season, or not breeding, egg laying season. So they're actually coming up in the at the nighttime, burying their eggs, and there's so many volunteers around here, and they'll come and they will kind of put some yellow tape around any of the holes filled with eggs just to protect them. So got to protect those sea turtles. You'll see it here, but with the kiddos, I just saw a bunch of people skateboarding over there, and you'll see bike riders everywhere around here. There are trails and paths no matter where you go.
Looking at the property across the street, I want to point out a couple of things about our building codes and how we build down here. The property has shutters all around. The people obviously aren't here, so houses down here will have either shutters or hurricane impact windows, so they do away with the shutters, but either way you have to protect all your openings, including the garage door. We're also, the property behind us has a viewing area on the roof, and this is something that people do because we have a 35-foot height restriction here from the crown of the road. So people will have a lot of different styles of houses, one of them being what we're seeing now, or when you see a flat roof house here, that's basically somebody who's gone up to 35 foot and has a viewing platform on top.
So Lee, we're gonna cruise up and go see the high school, show them that some more houses, but Marathon's just one of the keys that's just poured a lot of money into it. It's got a lot more development on the main street on Highway 1 for commercial. Is that what you've seen in the last 5-6 years here?
Yeah, definitely. Marathon has been very pro-growth.
Yeah.
Most of Monroe County is incorporated. Marathon is a city, so they're able to do things that the unincorporated part of Monroe County can't or won't do.
Gotcha. So now you have Canal living here, and you have the more of the ocean side living. So if you go to the ocean or canal, are you going to see a drastic change in price?
Well, the oceanfront properties or the bayside properties that are on the open water are the front row seats, and,
gotcha.
And those are typically our most expensive properties.
All right, Lee, so we're right by the high school here, but we got to cruise down one of these really incredible Tingler lanes. Now, one thing people moving, relocating here, they don't understand, 1974 and before FEMA hit, there was actual single level homes. Now you've got to be built up, but let's talk about the differences you'll see in those.
Well, probably obviously the biggest difference is height above any water that might come in a storm.
Yeah.
Any kind of an event, and so having the water wash under your house rather than through it is a plus.
But these single family ones, or the single level, they're still highly desirable here for people who don't want to go upstairs.
Yeah, well, not every hurricane puts water on the ground, and,
right.
and we can go decades without a storm that affects water
Every
on the
single
ground, and a specific storm may put water on the ground further up the Keys, but not here. So it's
Yep.
We're just, each place in the Keys is a pinpoint on the map, and a storm coming through does not affect everyone.
And that's what it really boils down to, is lifestyles, locations, what you want. And that's what, all the years of experience, once you reach out and have the conversation, especially with Lee and Sunnie here, they'll understand what your lifestyle is, what you like, and then they'll know 3-4 areas you've never heard of. These keys here, they look really small on the map, but man, they can get extensive sometimes, and there's areas you'll never even go to that may fit your lifestyle perfectly. So having that conversation is how they've been able to, help place, dozens and dozens of clients from out of state. So what we're going to do, we're just going to kind of continue moving down south, showing you all these different keys. So we, part 2, wanted to get a little bit more footage of the Marathon. There is an area up kind of the northern end. And so where are we at right now, Lee, and when did this development really start?
Oh, well, we're in Key Colony Beach. Key Colony Beach was an early development down here that incorporated back in the 50s, late 50s. So they have local government and they have their own police department. And what is attractive to a lot of our customers is they have their own rental regulations. So they're very regulated here. They have a good handle on it, but you can do short-term rentals. So for investors, a lot of these properties make sense as vacation rentals.
So, and the one thing you'll notice when you come in here, I mean, obviously there's huge, homes, single homes on the lake, but there's a lot of like duplexes and stuff here too. Are clients really enjoying, a little bit smaller of a footprint too, and just more access to boating?
Well, a lot of this area was originally built back before FEMA. So we have a lot of ground levels that have not been torn down and turned into bigger homes. And but what's happened with them is they've been turned into they were bigger ground levels, and they've been divided up into duplexes. And so the sides will, a lot of times the sides will sell separately. This across the way is Bonefish Towers. We're going to go over to that side
That's
after
a condo.
this. But that's a condo with a very desirable marina next to it.
One thing with the duplexes that's happened at Key Colony Beach is prices have gone up and up. People can buy half a duplex, which you used to be able to only buy the whole duplex. But since they've been subdivided and they're actually own their own land and they're separated and they have tax ID numbers, that's made it much more affordable to people that want great boating and they love the idea of the transient rentals. And like Lee had said earlier, the transient rentals are very much under control here, where people that live here full time, they actually appreciate the transient rentals. They don't have the issues and problems like you do in some of the other neighborhoods. They've done a really good job of taking care of that with regulation and having people that actually take care of the rentals.
So, and then in the aspect of boating here, I'm seeing some really large boats. Lee, is this an area where you can have kind of that bigger boat? And I see some charter boats too.
Yeah, we do. We have big, wide canals with good depth. So this is an area that people who have big boats gravitate to.
So let's talk a little bit more about why people really desire this area, Sunnie.
Well, one of the things is people like Key Colony Beach it's like its own little world. It's separate from everywhere else. However, it's just a stone throw to the city of Marathon, so people can run to the grocery store and the Home Depot and all the other restaurants. They can have families stay at the hotels, but still, when they're done, they get back into Key Colony Beach, and it's very private and safe, and people really enjoy that about Key Colony Beach. And as you look around, you can see how clean and well maintained everything is. They've done a really good job of people that own here really take care of their properties.
And so when people are just coming to spend, this is second home, third home, while they're gone, do they have people taking care of their property?
Yes, that's a great question. There's lots of property management companies. There's rental companies that also do property management, and then there's separate property management companies. That's the one thing about the city of Key Colony Beach. They don't tolerate overgrown yards, trees overgrown. So if you're a neighbor and an owner, you know that everybody else is going to take care of their property. There's just a lot of pride of ownership in these properties here. People think of duplexes as, rentals and people coming and going. It's not like that here in Key Colony. These duplexes are $700,000-$800,000. They have deep boating, quick ocean access, and so it's very desirable.
Plus, there's some really large homes too.
Yes. Oh, there's super homes here, super large homes here in this area. There's homes here in the $4 and $5 million range.
So, lastly, Sunnie, I'm actually noticing a lot of flowers here. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Does it have to do with the iguanas?
It does.
They must have an iguana man up here because there's some beautiful landscaping and there's a lot of flowers, and there's areas in the Keys where the iguanas are numerous,
yeah,
and they tend to eat the foliage. So I'm guessing we've got somebody taking care of the iguanas here as they keep really nice foliage, because otherwise they'll eat the flowers, and they're a detriment to most of the native foliage too.
Yeah, we're at Cocoa Plum. This is the Cocoa Plum Bonefish Tower to our right, and this marina is has a connection to the tower. Some of these slips go with units at the tower. This is a great spot because the inlet behind us, we got it's like a pontoon boat coming in now, but that's direct access to the ocean. So we've got good depth here. You can see the sailboat mast behind us. And it's also a great spot for fishing because the marathon humps are almost directly offshore from us, so there's terrific fishing out there.
And then we're close to Marathon, so you still have all your shops and
everything. Oh yeah, we're very close, and we're close to a beautiful beach that's right down the road. So this is pretty much has it all, plus the shopping and everything you need in Marathon.
So we just got onto the 7 Mile Bridge, the iconic bridge, and the one thing, you know, that I've always talked to them about is how blue and turquoise the water is. But what do you always say about the water?
Changing every day.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's one of the beautiful things about living here is that depending on the wind, the tide, cloud cover, this water changes color constantly. So you've got a picture that's changing every day, even if you're looking at the same exact spot.
How clear is it today on the clarity scale? Not that.
Well, not that clear. We've had a little bit of wind, and it stirred up a little bit. And this is one of the big channels from the Gulf to the ocean. Yep. So we get a lot of tide coming through here, a very strong tidal current. And if the water's churned up at all, that makes it a little bit worse.
Yep.
So as far as clarity goes, I mean, it's good, but it's not. This isn't perfect. But if you look over the side here, you can see the bottom.
Turquoise. It's crazy. And so we're paralleling the old railroad track. Correct?
Yeah. This section of the 7 Mile Bridge is being renovated, repaired, because of Pigeon Key, which is coming up on our right, which is a historic area that was. The buildings that are on Pigeon Key were originally built for the railroad workers, and it's gone through a number of transitions. The University of Miami used it for a number of years back in the 60s and 70s as a research site, and now it's pretty much a historical site. Once the bridge is back in shape and the public can use it again, we have a big art festival here every year.
Cool.
That's really popular because the setting is fantastic.
Got to show you now, real quick. Hold on. So we're actually headed to the, where are we at right now?
We're at the Blue Hole.
The Blue Hole. So one thing we wanted to talk about, you know, this is Big Pine, and so you have all of the nature. You know, as you can see, all these trails, and the cool thing about Big Pine is you'll have the sidewalks everywhere, so you're going to see a lot of active lifestyle. But one thing, you know, a lot of the people reaching out talk about is how bad are the mosquitoes. Why don't you kind of talk about what they do here to mitigate, and you know, when they really come out and how that what they're doing here in the Keys helps.
Well, our mosquito control here is airborne spray. It's sprayed from helicopters, and it's done as needed. We have a mosquito control district here whose job is to control mosquitoes. Beyond that, if the neighborhood has a problem that the overhead spraying has not controlled, you can call. They'll come in with a spray truck, and they'll basically spray the neighborhood, and it's extremely effective. We have mosquitoes, but I've spent a lot of time in other parts of Florida, and I can tell you we do not have a big mosquito problem compared to many other parts of Florida.
All right, so we're more of the southern end of Big Pine Key. If people call and they really like the nature, they love Big Pine, but they want maybe a little bit bigger of a home or nicer home, where are we at right now?
This is Pine Channel Estates.
Yep.
It's on our left-hand side, and each one it's their individual canals.
People really enjoy the canal life, right?
They do.
Yeah.
The boat is in the water or on a lift, so That's the easiest way to go boating. You just step off the dock into your boat and away you go.
Load up your cooler.
Gotta bring the brewskis.
Yep. Yep. Fill it up and away you go. So, and most people find that they use their boat a lot more if it's convenient to use it like that.
And I guess one thing to touch on too is the size of the boat really dictates, where you can live. So here in this one, what kind of boats can you fit into these canals?
Well, we've got a draft of about 3 foot, 2.5, 3 foot.
Yep.
So and the canals are about 40 foot wide. So we have mostly center consoles that are up to about a little over 30 foot. That'd be the high end of the size on a boat over here.
So what are people looking like? These are, a lot of these houses are built up on stilts, the side, how big of a house, and usually what's a cost in this area?
The square footage usually is around, I'd say starting about 1,200 square feet, anywhere up to about 3,500.
Yep.
And I'd say the starting price right now is about the $750,000 range, where the point properties will range $2 million, 2.5. It just depends on square footage and location. So the canal front homes start at about 750, open water closer to 2.
Yeah, and the cool thing is some of these canal homes, you're right by the point as well. So
yeah, a lot of the canal front homes, when they're 1 or 2 in from the point, they still get a really nice view, but they're protected because their boating's on the inside.
Yep.
So these homes are all on canals.
Is it? Oh, this is No Name Key. So we're just Big Pine Key, but this is No Name.
Yep. And again, a collection of all kinds of different homes back in here.
Yeah.
And this is an extremely quiet neighborhood since they did away with, since they got electricity, and most people got rid of their generators.
It's amazing it's 2021 and you have to talk about electricity. That's the Keys, baby. You can get in here.
Well, and all of these homes have cisterns, although they are getting water.
Yeah.
The Florida Keys Aqueduct is going to bring it into everybody down here that wants it. But the cisterns work extremely well here, and most of the cisterns back in here are under the home and are typically anywhere between 15 and 40,000 gallons.
We got another one right there.
That ad on
They
TV,
come out everywhere.
and the deer are laughing about
Yeah.
what they did to the guy.
That one looked like it got bumped. So now we've gone south just a little bit more, and we left Big Pine. Now we are in Little Torch Key. So who's moving to Little Torch and why, Lee?
Well, this is another one of our very nice residential areas. We've got the canal system will accept. It has pretty good depth, so people that have sailboats can come in here and be comfortable, or depending on where you sit on the canal, bigger boats up to 40 foot's about the biggest boat you're going to get in here comfortably, but and turn it around. So
Yeah, when you had a lot of clients reach out to you and they're interested in this area, is it mainly the boat life, the nature? What is it that draws them to the Little Torch?
boating, I think the fact that it is a very nice subdivision.
Yep.
It has this stretch that we're driving up on of very nice open water properties. So we have, again, we have a whole range of properties here, but in the last 10 years we've had a lot of knockdowns and buildovers. So we've got a lot of new stuff here.
Yeah, that's something that people can do here, knock down, rebuild.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're if they have an existing building, they're grandfathered
Yep.
under our building code, and they have to build the code, but they can definitely rebuild. And so these are like, this is a prime example. This is a fairly recent home.
So Little Torch Key, I mean, you can almost see it from here, but the big pine is just up here, and then we have this right here. So, you know, your lifts, you have all the bigger boats. You had, you know, our guy who just came in from fishing. So they slow down, you take these canals, and you go right to your house. Obviously, people know that, so that's why they move here. But this is really the cool thing. You can get it right out and start boating. So, Sunnie, this is an area, I mean, you're not going to have all the shops and restaurants and bars. You have a couple of them, but people are really coming here to just enjoy the lifestyle, right?
Yeah, they want to enjoy the lifestyle and really be on the water. And it's been great for families that have been coming down. They can they go out and they get their supplies at the local grocery store, and then they pretty much spend all their time from the backyard out, which is what we call the front yard, which is the waterfront.
Yeah.
You know, they've got their coolers, they're going fishing, their barbecues, and they're enjoying it and having fun. And that's really what the lifestyle is about down here. It's enjoying the water and the outdoors.
Yeah, so you have, you know, these houses up on stilts, and the majority of them you can drive right under, and I mean, you'll see kiddos playing under there, the ping pong tables and everything. So, yeah, but you're not coming to the Little Torch Key for all the entertainment value. It's more to get away, the boating, the lifestyle. But Marathon, just to the north, you know, some of these areas have, or even Big Pine has a grocery store. You go load up for a couple weeks, and then you're good.
Yeah, and people, when they're here, they'll go out to dinner maybe 1 or 2 nights, but in general, they're really enjoying the waterfront lifestyle. That's what it's all about.
They're catching their dinner.
There. Yeah, they're catching and eat. It's a catch and eat.
So we're just down from Little Torch. It's actually just about 2-3 minutes that way, and you got a couple major tiki bars right here. We're at the Ramrod Plaza. So if you look, you'll see the Ramrod Key right here is Boondocks. So you do have these cool restaurants right here close, some shopping, but this is really it. You know, when you're out there on that Little Torch Key, it's more of that boating lifestyle, but at least you can get away here to old Boondocks. All right, Lee, Sunnie, we just came a little bit farther to the south here, and now we're in Summerland Key. Let's talk about, this really started taking off in early 2000s, right? And what are you seeing a lot in here, or who's moving to the Summerland area?
Well, it's mostly vacation, second home buyers. Not as many people moving, although there are some retired people that do, you know, move here and enjoy it. It tends to be known for its great boating. And the homes, as people buy and sell these homes, everybody's remodeling, so it's constantly being upgraded. People are not afraid to keep putting money into the homes, and they just keep getting better and better, and each time a house sells, it gets improved, and it just makes the neighborhood better. A lot of landscaping, a lot of swimming pools, and beautiful waterfront dock areas.
So people kind of compete here to do the nice remodels then, huh?
Yes, yeah, a lot of nice kitchens.
Yeah, and so the one thing about Summerland Key too, you know, Lee, you touched on this, is the boating here. The canals are really clean. Kind of touch on that, why people love boating here so much too.
Well, the canals are wide, so you can get big boats in here. It's got about 3-foot draft, so there are larger boats in the canals. A lot of the canals are just loaded with lobster and sea life.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You can, I mean, you can catch fish and lobster right off your dock, and that's a big attraction.
And then also the clarity of the canals too. You touched on that. Something people love.
Yeah, crystal clear. You can see the bottom. You can see what's in there. You can see what's coming through, and with that, again, brings fish, lobster, crabs, a lot of bait fish on the outside walls, where at certain times of the day you got a show going on with bait being eaten by bigger fish, and it's a lot of fun.
Got to have those shows.
Yep.
So as mentioned, I remember cruising through a lot of these different keys, and when you want to do boating, it is sizably different how much bigger the canals are here in the Summerland Key. So that's why this is definitely one of the most desired areas, is for that boating, that fishing lifestyle. So as you can see here, I mean, you've got some of the real big boats that you can get, and they all have lifts, so you can come right home. But you can see, I mean, it's a little windy today, so it's a little bit more churned up, but big, deep, wide canals. You got someone coming in jet skiing right here. And a lot of the houses, as you see, you know, a lot of them are big. So a lot of these, you know, get completely remodeled. As Lee and Sunnie said, I mean, people are coming in here and just remodeling and remodeling. This is such a desired area to be. You can see down at the end of the road, you got big monster houses. So you also have the ability to be right out there with views of the ocean, or be in here canal living, and something that's very popular. You got the tiki huts there, so you'll see a lot of people on their back patios. You'll meet people quickly, have just amazing times. So you're gonna find a lot more homes. Summerland Key here, you know, some of the Little Torch Keys and some of those, there's just limited homes in there, and they're a little bit more private. Here, you know, you got more of like, more homes, more people out, more active, and incredible canals.
Hey, this is what's going on in Summerland Key. We got a brand new build across the street on 2 lots with a pool. The house right over there was just recently purchased. They're completely gutting it and remodeling it. And this is one of our listings right on the open water here, sitting right on the ocean. In this area, you see a lot of this, tear downs, rebuilds, remodels. It's a great area where you're just seeing more money come into it, and the houses are getting better and better and better as time goes on. And let's show you one of our active listings. You can see the beautiful waterfront.
All right, so obviously this isn't just the only place in the Florida Keys that you can find this, but it is kind of a rarity, the Summerland areas. As you can see, you know, they were mentioning this is a current listing that Sunnie and Lee have. And the owner just loves fishing, loves having his boat. When you're like this, you can see how deep this is. You can see the dark, the light. Hopefully you can see all that like we can. And so you can have these just giant boats right here. But you can find these houses here, and what they're doing is either a complete tear down rebuild like that. You've got these ones that are already remodeled, completely done. You just move in, and across the street, again, they're building from scratch, actually a brand new construction. So all of them, you know, you have these incredible views here, and then even the houses that are just inland. So the canal living right there, starting in the $700,000 range, you can get bigger homes, completely remodeled, but those canals are huge and wide. And so, come on, we know you love this kind of stuff. This is what you're looking for. But this is honestly when you reach out and you have those conversations like, I like boating, or no, I just need a smaller little place, or I gotta see the water, or whatever your boat size is too. That's where Lee specializes and knows all of these areas like the back of his hand. So we can find these 2-3 areas you haven't heard of, or these places that are really gonna fit your lifestyle once we get to hear them. And then we place you in your own paradise. So we'll keep cruising through and showing you more of Summerland. So again, as you can see in the Summerland area, you know, we have the oceanfront houses right here, but the ones one off, a lot of them have those party decks, so you can't go above 35 feet, but now you can get up top and have those views. So guys, the one thing I really noticed when we came in here, you know, a few times, is the landscaping seems just so much more, like people really care about their properties a lot more in here, huh? And not care about the properties, but they're really taking care of the landscaping. And then the tree project as well, right? So they were putting a lot of palm trees in here.
Yeah, the community has really done a great job, and most of the people that live here just keep improving the landscaping. And because our landscaping lives year-round, it just gets fluffier and more beautiful, and flowers at all different times, and it just makes a great difference in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's, you know, people have reached out too, and they're trying to lock down that perfect ideal spot, and they really, you know, they have this sense of the Florida Keys of having the immaculate lawns, or the landscaping. This is going to be an area that you're really going to enjoy if you like that landscaping.
And the other thing too with the landscaping is people will put it down their side lot line, and because our landscaping grows year round, all our greenery just stays real strong and high, it gives you a lot of instant privacy.
Yep.
And so people really like that. You know, the lots are not that far apart, but on the other hand, you've got trees between you. You can't see your neighbors. It gives you a whole different feeling.
Yep, it does, and it really makes things, you know, quiet and peaceful as you live in these communities. And so here, again, you're not going to have all the shops, restaurants, bars, entertainment, but now we're starting to get closer to the Key West. So we're, what, 40 minutes or so from...
Yeah, we're mile marker 24, so we're 24 miles from Key West.
Yeah, so you're going to be, you know, now closer down to Key West, have your private little area, the bigger, wider canals, and that's what's really drawn a lot of people here to the Summerland Key. All right, Lee, so we just popped in now again to Lower Sugarleaf. I see something right away that will really grab people's attention, and that's lot size. Let's talk about that. You know, you're getting a lot bigger, a lot more space here, it seems.
Yeah, we have these lots were platted larger than most of the other keys. most of the other lots in the lower Keys.
Why was that?
It was the developer's choice when they came in and dredged all these canals and made the land. All this land was either wet or almost wet before the canals were dredged.
Is that why it's so low here too? The draft? It's just not as high as some of the other keys.
No, the draft has to do with Sugarloaf Sound and how shallow it is.
Cool.
So the canals themselves are deep, up to 20 foot in some places, but the bay bottom where they join is shallow.
Right.
So that's what affects that.
So they really wanted bigger lots here.
Yeah, and it was the developer's choice when they owned the property. Then they made the canals and got everything ready to sell. They surveyed it and made bigger lots. Mm-hmm. And that worked well. We have beautiful homes, lots of lush landscaping, and
sidewalks too, which is really cool. Like some of the other ones, the building's so tight. Even the neighbor to the north, Summerland, which is amazing, but it's a little tighter. Here, not only are the lots bigger, but the road here is bigger. There's sidewalks.
You can go for a walk. You can take your dog for a walk. You can bicycle and stay safely on off the road. So a lot of people like that a lot.
Are the big time boaters coming to Sugarloaf?
Well, if you're not if you want a big boat,
right?
You could be a big time boater and have a flats boat, or be a big time pontoon boater.
Yep.
But as far as having a large fishing boat, most people are opting for other keys further up the road, either Cudjoe or Summerland, maybe Little Torch, even Big Pine.
Yep. And so you see a lot of pontoon boats down here. Those have really blown up as of lately.
Pontoon boats are good. They, you got all that floor space, so you got a party
barge
on the water. Yeah.
And then, so last but not least, one other thing that your clients, when they're reaching out, or that you've heard, in the past too, especially, is its location. Why do people like this location here compared to maybe some of the other keys to the north?
Well, for a lot of people, if Key West is either for work or for entertainment, if that's important, we're closer. We're 24 miles from Key West, so that makes it on most mornings half an hour ride, and that does play into people's decisions on buying here on Sugarloaf.
Some clients are actually flying in to Key West, correct? And then now they're closer. They have this private community.
Yes.
So you're a lot closer.
Yeah, a lot less money if you use an Uber or a taxi to get home. And if you have a small private plane, there is a small airstrip right here on
Sugarloaf. Yep.
Yeah. What was a bat tower here?
Bat?
B-A-T, bat. It was called Perky's Bat Tower, and it was one of the original settlers here who, before mosquito spraying, decided that he was going to build a bat tower to attract bats and get rid of the mosquitoes.
That's awesome.
And it was a big structure. If you Google it, Perky's Bat Tower, when you see it, you say, wow.
Did it attract a lot of bats?
No, it was a complete failure. Although we do have bats here.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't like the bat tower. So it was just a local attraction.
Well, if you've ever been to the swamp, where the Florida Gators play, their old stadium is a bat tower. I've actually been there. Thousands and thousands of bats. Have you ever heard of that? Seen that?
No, I didn't know that.
Insane. Yeah, I went there one time, and just a little brief history. The bat tower is not here. We're actually pulling up on the Sugarloaf airstrip. We're going to show you that. So, if you ever get a chance, go to the swamp. You can see all the bats there. So, private little airstrip here.
And they have skydiving.
Yeah, they do skydiving here pretty regularly. So a lot of times when we're driving to Key West, we'll see the people that have been dropped out of the plane, and they're floating down, hoping to hit land, not water.
Yeah.
And this is the runway. It's one runway, and you can see the air sock out there right now.
Right.
It's blowing from the west today, but our winter prevailing winds are north and northeast, which make this a very difficult land because it's not only rough, but you got a serious crosswind and a very narrow strip. So a lot of planes have been pulled out of the water on that side when they get off the strip.
So a lot of people opt to land over there in the Key West area.
Yeah, they do. You got to be a good pilot to be landing here. This was also the site of the part of the set for the movie Drop Zone with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And they had this area that we're looking at over your shoulder was set up with a couple of stilt houses that show real good in the movie. So that was fun back when they did it.
So we're at the other section of Sugarloaf South Point. So what's right in between the two subdivisions here?
Water.
Yeah, water. Nothing but water.
That's right. So you have the open water, and again, this is canal living, and these are going to be bigger lots, correct?
It is, and most of these homes are newer homes, and so this was built up a little bit later than the other side for the most part.
Okay. And so in here, obviously it's mostly all built out already. You're going to find resale. Are people doing a lot more of the remodeling here as you see in the Summerland Key, or is this staying kind of put the way it is?
No, this is people are buying and then spending a lot of money on their homes.
Yeah.
There's seems to be no end to improvement here.
That's the one thing. People come in, they want to tweak it to be their own. So the shells are good of the house. A lot of them on stilts. You got open water, just to this side, and there's bigger canals, but it's just going to be a little bit, shallower of the draft, so you won't see as big of the boats. But man, these lots are just huge, and the vegetation is just, you can't even see some of these houses.
Yeah, they've done a real good job, and there's the elevation is pretty good here. And as you look into some of these yards, there's a lot of fruit trees in some of these yards, and that goes with elevation. Fruit trees don't like their feet wet in salt, and so if you get up high enough, the trees will grow a lot better.
Oh, that's a good point.
Lee's
there.
a farmer at heart.
Lee's a farmer at heart.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we came right into the heart of Key West. You guys get a lot of people reaching out, and they just want to fly in, go to their little house, and go to all the bars. I mean, that's something you've talked about a lot, Sunnie, right?
Yeah, they like that they have easy access. They can fly into the airport, get an Uber to their house, and then they have their scooters and their bicycles. They don't need a car when they're down here in Key West, and then they can come and go as they please. They can ride their bikes out for cocktails and don't have to worry about drinking and driving on the way home.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just streets everywhere around here. All the local eateries and pubs, but here, people know they're not going to get a lot of space, right?
Yes, yeah. The houses aren't really big, and the lots are very small.
Yep.
But that's just the charm of the whole place. The homes have an old-fashioned look, even the newer ones, because it's a historic district.
Mm-hmm.
There are some rules with the type of house you have to build, and when you remodel, you have to follow with certain remodeling rules and certain paint colors, just so everything stays in the same theme.
Right, and so, I mean, some of these houses built, what, 1920s?
Mm-hmm.
19...
Yep.
So you're talking, older style homes, but they've been remodeled a few times. You go into a remodel, you might find some surprises.
Yes, you can.
Some
and
different
then a lot of them, you show them when you go to sell, and they are just, you walk inside, and they are just so charming with cherry wood floors and beautiful moldings, brand new kitchens, really nice swimming pools. Even though it's on a small lot, that's all they need when they come down here. It's enjoyable because they're going to spend a lot of time out in Key West. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so Key West is definitely lifestyle now.
Yeah.
You are not, this isn't going to be your big boats, nothing like that. You just want all the walkability. I mean, it's a Tuesday right now, and the streets are just lined and packed with people. And this is the lifestyle. So you can live right down here in the heart. So what's the different styles of living? Obviously, the house is built in like the 1920s. Is there like condo living, detached? What's the different varieties?
There is some condo living, not so much here in Old Town.
Right.
It's mostly on the beach side of the island. But here in Old Town, it's mostly single-family homes, or there's commercial buildings that have apartments upstairs that are actually condos. but most of them are single family.
Yeah, and it's just blocks and blocks of this. Is there a difference between living like on the north side of Key West, south side, or is it really a lot like this?
Yeah, this section's called Old Town,
Yep.
and this is the closest to all the commercial district, the fun stuff, the bars and the restaurants and all the stores.
It's just people everywhere.
People everywhere, and this is called Old Town, and
Yeah.
that's why this is a premium for price, because these are the people that want to be able to stay at their own place, enjoy their own house,
Right.
but still get to all the fun, and it's all very close by and convenient. You can walk, ride a bike, take a scooter.
Yep. And Sunnie, so people may want this as a second home. This won't be a forever home. Do they have their own property managers? Are they renting these houses out?
They can rent them out. Quite a few of them are rentals. They have to have a transient rental license, and
Yep.
Key West has not been giving many new transient licenses. So if they sell with one, they can continue to transient rent them. Otherwise, they just keep them as a vacation home, and that there are property managers that'll take care of the pools and the yard, just like throughout the rest of the Keys.
Is that transient license something you're looking up? If someone's looking for a property?
Yeah, if somebody says we want to rent it short term, then we're looking for something with a transient license. And
Got
there's
it.
some things like triplexes and quadruplexes. There are a few of those down here, and they'll have one swimming pool, and those will rent really great as transient vacation rentals, and those usually come with the licensing.
All right, so we did a lot of touring through the Old Town area, but now where are we at?
Now we're in Newtown, which is the newer version of Key West, although most of it's pretty old.
It's new to Key West.
Yeah.
But in location, where are we at, and what's kind of relevant about its point here?
We're on the south side of the island,
Yep.
and we're in a section where there are probably more people that live here year-round in this section of town than there are in Old Town.
Get a little bit of a bigger house here than you do the Old Town.
Depends.
Okay.
Right.
Not
Less
not as a rule. There
Yep.
again, it's a real mix.
Yep.
But I mean, look at the house across the street. It's Key West can be surprising.
Rocky.
Yeah, well, yeah, Rocky, and lots of different versions of Key West through the years.
So who really lives in the New Town versus the Old Town? Who tends to like it over here a little more? A little quieter over here.
Yeah, there isn't as much hustle and bustle.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, parking is still challenging, but there's more parking over here. There's more area to get off the road. So when you live in Old Town, you're living with what goes on in Old Town from the tourist end pretty much 24/7.
24, yep.
Once you get over here, this is more people who are living here year round, and so the living is a little bit different.
But you're still walking distance. I mean, Duval Street's just.
Oh, you're still close, or a bike ride or a scooter. It's all. Key West is not a big city, so it's easy to get around.
Yeah, and you can almost see the drastic difference of going to that Old Town versus this. The streets are wider here. You actually do see more vehicles parked. There's more spaces for it, but yet you're still right in the action as well. And that is the beautiful Key West, why everybody loves coming here. Obviously all the shops, restaurants, bars, the history, some of these buildings from the mid-1800s. But if Key West is not your ideal spot, you want to be more onto one of the other keys to the north, that's what we specialize in. We got to understand your lifestyle while you're moving here, what you like, so that we can place you in the right spot. But the only way we can help you, you got to reach out. You got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Florida Keys. And until the next video, guys, we'll catch you later.